I came up with 5 different ways to write a dispute reason for the same account type, and you can literally use this for anything. You have been asking me how to dispute the same type of account but on the same letter, because you can't say the same thing over and over again, right? The response to your dispute is going to come back as either frivolous or it's just going to be rejected. And you know that things are getting way more difficult now than they ever were before. And so we have to be very vigilant and diligent in the way that we dispute. Now, we're going to use an example for a charge off, an example for a collection. We are choosing date last active. I would prefer to use this as date last paid. So for example 1, we're going to say you've reported different dates under the date of last activity. Stop disputing this due to FCRA non-compliance of inaccurate data being furnished to the consumer report. Now, you need to use your facts, take it directly from the credit report or your credit report and put it in here, but this is just based on the verbiage. We're not looking at the actual date. Example 2 would be inaccurate data is being furnished and this account needs to stop reporting for FCRA non-compliance. So that sounds similar, right? There are different dates last active reported. How can there be different dates when this is what stipulates when the account will naturally fall off? So it's not date last active that does that, it's date last paid. So that's where we're changing it. You can't report different months and different years. And then you would put your dates after that. So example number 3, I would like you to remove this account because the dates are completely different when I look at the dates in the date of last, let's just say, payment. Now you can shorten that up, but this is just for you to understand how to do this with your client's credit report. I know that it's supposed to be the same date, inaccurate data is being furnished, and this account needs to stop reporting for FCRA non-compliance. Why are we using non-compliance? The reason we're using non-compliance is because every single thing on the credit report is required to be accurate, and they are in non-compliance by reporting fraudulently. Now, I'm not talking about fraud like someone stole their credit or their social security number. I'm talking about the way that it's being reported is illegal. This is example number 4. The date last paid shows multiple dates, and this makes it look like I paid when I didn't and didn't when I paid. How is that possible? How can there be years between the bureaus? Inaccurate data is being furnished, and this account needs to stop reporting for FCRA non-compliance. So you can take the same exact sentence and write it 5 different ways and then plug in your dates directly from the credit report. We have one more example for a charge off, and this is using the dispute element first date of delinquency. Account has date of first delinquency reported inaccurately, and this means that the entire account must be removed for inaccuracy. Inaccurate data is being furnished, and this account needs to stop reporting for FCRA non-compliance. If we go down and we look at collections, using the dispute reason that account is either unknown or unverified. I don't know what this is. Please remove this unverified account unless you can furnish a signed contract. I'm not going to be able to do that. Using the dispute reason that the account is either unknown or unverified, delete this account because you cannot furnish any documentation that would verify ownership. Remove this unverifiable account. Collection example number 3. Now, using different dispute reasons for removing a debt buyer account, like this is like portfolio recovery or Midland or Cavalry second round. Date last paid shows multiple dates, and this makes it look like I paid when I didn't and didn't when I paid. How is that possible? How can there be different years between the bureaus? Stop reporting this due to FCRA non-compliance of inaccurate data being furnished on the consumer report. Example number 4. And this is using the dispute reasons for removing a debt buyer account. Delete this account because the collection is past due by default and therefore cannot report a past due. And this is also for removing portfolio recovery. Delete this account for violation because it reports late payments in the payment history, even though this is a collection. Because obviously a collection is late by default, right? It is past due by default. It is late by default. There shouldn't be a late payment status. There shouldn't be late payments. All those things are either inaccurate or in violation.